Hi everyone. So last week we were looking at using the embed button to embed different bits of code into your website, taking other bits of the internet and putting them onto your website to share some of the things you've been doing. What we're going to do today is we're going to use something called Google Forms. So if we just go to my website, I'll just go up quickly. He says, if in doubt, it's very hard to get to your website from Google Docs. So sometimes I just go into Google Sites because it shows me all the websites. And actually, if you share your website with me, it ends up in this pile as well. So here's my website. And maybe what I want to do is add a bit of a quiz. So it could be a quiz about something I've learned. I've got to say, because I'm back in year 6 now, I've been teaching year 6. I've been learning lots about medieval castles and the kind of things that happened in how people built medieval castles with all its defences. So possibly I might want to do a quiz all about medieval castles and create a new page. But the important thing is that down here, we're going to use Google Forms, and we're going to use this to make a quiz. But it could be that you actually, rather than it being a quiz, you just want to do a survey about what the best things about your site are, or you want to find out what other people have been doing. And it's a chance where people can interact with your website. So you'll see when I clicked on Google Forms, it gave me these 4 different forms, and you might find that you've actually got no forms at all there because you've never used this before. And Google Forms is another part of the applications that you've got for free on Google, but you might have to go and open that first. So we're going to open a new tab, and we're going to just type in Google Forms into your search engine. It will come up and show you Google Forms. Again, it looks very familiar with the kind of the menu that we're used to seeing in Google Docs and Google Sites. And we're going to start a new form here, or a new quiz. Okay, I'll go with a quiz. We'll create a bit of a quiz. So we click on blank quiz. And the idea being here is that you're going to create a quiz with either multiple choice answers or where people have to write a word. And this will create your own quiz. Now, you've seen these before because you've seen these when you've been doing Oak Academy. This is exactly the same tool that Oak Academy are using for their a little test that they do at the beginning and end of your lessons. So you're going to learn to make your own. So we know how these work and how the different questions work. Okay, you could take the tour and just learn about these different buttons. Okay, but at the moment you've got me. So at the top up here, you're going to give it a title. This was going to be a quiz all about castles. Okay, so I might put it as a question. What do you know about castles? Okay, and then I'm going to give it a bit of context in here. So during lockdown, I have been learning about castles. Here is a quiz showing some of the things I have learned. Okay, read it through. Okay, really important to check your work. It's going out to an audience. Okay, during lockdown, I have been learning about castles, full stop. Here is a quiz showing some of the things I have learned. Excellent. Okay, and then here goes question 1. Okay, so question 1, what was a murder hole? Okay. And then I've got all different choices of how I want the question to look. So I've got multiple choice, which means I can put in the options. A checkbox means that there's more than one option, so I could maybe choose 2 or 3 of those. A drop-down menu is where the actual choices will drop down, which sometimes is quite useful. We can get people to write a short answer, which is maybe 1 word or a sentence. These are quite hard because the computer will actually mark this quiz for us, but if short answers don't work so well because you'd have to get it exactly right. And paragraph answers, obviously the computer can't mark, but you could see the answers that people put in responses. Okay, I can also upload files, so I could add a picture to this quiz as well. I'm not going to do that today because my internet's so rubbishly slow, it'll take forever. But you can also use over here, add an image. You could also embed a video from YouTube and then maybe ask questions about it, which again, I know we've seen on the work from Oak Academy. I'm going to do it as a multiple choice here. So what was a murder hole? Was it? Well, now I've got to think of some false answers and some true answers, haven't I? So was a murder hole a hole in the doorway of a king so guards could check that he was safe? Was it, click on here, add another option, was a murder hole something else? Tell you what, I'll have a think about this. I'll pause the video and come back. Okay, so I'm just going to read these through because that's always really important. So, a hole in the doorway of a king so guards could check that he was safe. A place in the castle to leave prisoners to die that was sealed off so that you wouldn't hear their, and it's gone off, but it'll be there later, their cries. A hole in the ceiling where soldiers could drop rocks, fire arrows, or pour hot tar on the attackers below. Or a place where crows were kept that was used to send messages. Okay, and I could carry on with more, but I think 4 is probably the best number here. Okay, we can click on this button here to tab it to mean that the question has to be answered. So you people have to say something. And we can also go over to the answer key. Now, this is going to be important because we're going to tell the computer what the right answer is. So when I click on the answer key, I'll then say that this is the right answer. I'm sure you knew that. And then click on done. Okay, so we've now done question 1, and all we have to do to answer make question 2 is go here, add question 2, and we can add another question. So before, if it was a drop-down menu, sorry, a checkbox menu, then you might have 4 options, or maybe even more, 6 options, and the answer key you can choose. Those 3 are the right answer. Okay, you need to be really careful with these, that you're absolutely exact in your answers, because it can be frustrating, as we know from using the Oak Academy, when it says that your answer is wrong when actually you've got it right, and also can confuse your audience. So make sure you're more careful than sometimes Oak Academy are. With the short line answers, you can then also, in the answer key, you can add a correct answer, and all the correct answers are there. So let's say, for example, the answer was murder hole. You might want to think about all the different possibilities that someone might write the word murder hole. Let's say someone, and you might be generous and think about some incorrect answers, incorrect spelling of answers. Maybe someone gets those the way around. Well, we are getting quite a long way away from the right answer here, aren't we? So, or maybe someone might put hole. Maybe you're going to give them that. I don't know. It's up to you, really, isn't it? And then mark other answers as incorrect. Okay. Maybe what you want to do is kind of leave that blank. I think that happens sometimes, doesn't it, on Oak National Academy. So I'm going to leave it like that. So once you've done your quiz, you've maybe got 10 questions. Okay. What you need to do now is you need to share that quiz with people on your website. So you're going to go back to your website, which is up here somewhere. Okay. And you'll see that actually this is called blank quiz, which isn't good enough. So let's go up here and let's call it Castle Quiz. Okay, if you want to click send, but don't just do that. It's there. It hasn't been updated, but that's okay. Let's start a new page. So how do we start a new page? Click there, and pages, add, petals, done, insert, down to forms, and I'm going to just drag this in. And that didn't happen. So I'm not going to click on there, I'm going to click insert. And that didn't happen either. Why not? Wouldn't be surprised if it's down to my rubbish internet. Let's try one more time. It was my internet, so all I did was insert and forms, and then chose the form and inserted, and it's now embedded in here. So that's great. And then I can test it. Again, you can't do anything clicking here. You can't do anything here. But what you can do is you can go to preview. Hopefully, there we go. We can now do the quiz here. Oh, that didn't work. Let's go on preview. There we go. So we can choose an answer. I can't remember what those answers was. You know, that one's murder hole, isn't it? Oh, I wonder if I put that as an. Oh, that's not that, because I spelled murder hole too wrong. Murder hole. And submit my answer. And it says your responsibility. Just like to say, if you score. Oh, it's going to take me to another website by the looks of it to show me the score that I've got. It will also, for a bit of fun, be capturing people's responses. So when Oak Academy do their quizzes and you fill them in, all your responses are all kept in a great big chart, and they'll be able to see. Excuse me. They'll be able to see how much you've, how much people have improved from before or after. Okay, right. I'm going to stop there. Have a go with a Google form from this video and see if you can make your own on your website. Have a good week.